Okay, so we are just continuing with the rules which we have done. Okay, when do we use TH for voiced and TH for unvoiced? Okay, so what you will see that majorly voiced, the sound is there. Okay, when you have TH after a vowel sound. Okay, like this. So, sorry, after TH, you have a vowel. Okay. So this, so the, and then there's a vowel sound. Can you give more examples of TH? Voiced TH, the sound. Can you give more examples? Yes. So you have a vowel in all of these words. Just after the sound, you have a vowel sound, right? Yes. So you have a vowel after the voiced sound, right? But mostly, when you have a consonant, it is the unvoiced sound. Can you give any example of unvoiced sound? So you will see that there is a consonant, like in tree, like in throw, you have a consonant and not a vowel. Can you give more examples? Can you give more examples? Theory. Yes. So you don't have a short vowel there. Yes. Give me more examples of unvoiced sound. Theory and think, thunder. Now, think will be an exception. Okay. Also, TH sound, the unvoiced sound will also come for the words ending with TH, like moth. Can you give some examples where you have the ending sound? TH at the end, yes. With south, yes. Okay, so think is an exception. There are many exceptions. Think is an exception. Thin is an exception. Think is an exception. So these are exceptions. Theft is an exception. Thunder. So there are exceptions, but majorly you'll have the words having a single vowel will have the, and also as I've told earlier also that the, this, these are the just what we can say, not the meaningful words. Meaningful words have th, and these are like demonstrative adjectives. Okay, this, that, these, those. There we have the sound for determiners, like the is an article. But most of the meaningful words have the unvoiced sound. Okay. So you can have these exceptions there, that these are meaningful words. So think, thorn, thank. These are also having a single vowel sound, but then also they are having unvoiced. So they are exceptions, but other way we can say that these are the meaningful words. Okay. Relations like mother, father, brother will go in voiced. Okay. Any doubt here? So the rules now which we are taking are very complex rules, which we generally do not teach to younger kids. Only we discuss it with the senior kids, telling them very first that there will be a lot of exceptions. Okay. So the rules which we teach in like magic rules, soft those are the prominent rules where you have very few exceptions. So it's always good to teach those rules to children when especially when they are young. But to senior kids, you can tell these things in a fun way, in a creative way, in a game way, like when you're playing some game like that. You can just for the knowledge, you can tell them so that they start taking interest in the subject. Okay, and they know and they understand that there can be exceptions. Youth, yes, I told her that all the words having th at the end will have the unvoiced sound. Okay. That is why we have learned that E comes at the end to make it the voice, like bath, bath becomes bathe when you have E. So if it is at the end, it is unvoiced. But if it is in between, then it is the sound, right? Okay. So now next, let's move to the next rule. WH. We have learned that in WH, which letter is silent? In WH, which letter is silent? Which letter is silent in WH? H is silent. So the voice,
H,
so it will
H.
were sound. Okay. It will be were sound. But this is the case when you have WH followed by A, E, I, Y. Okay. But when you have WH followed by O, then W is not, W is silent and H speaks. Can you give examples for both of them, the two situations? If you have WH followed by AEI or Y, then W says were and H is silent. Whereas when you have O, then H is not silent. W is silent. Can you give examples? Yes, whole, 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 who, whom, whose, right? But when you have WHE, WHA, then it is were sound, like in wheat, like in Y. Okay. I hope this is clear. Then we have next S. We have already talked about S. If it is surrounded by vowel, then it gives the sound of letter Z. Okay, if you have a vowel, then S, and then again a vowel, that means both the sides it has a vowel, then it gives the sound of letter Z. Like has, his, then was, hers, his, rose, cause, surprise, all these words, right? Also, when you do singular plural, you add S, right? Like if you have any word like book, so book becomes books. Now, we have done that what are voiced and unvoiced sounds. We have done that day ki voice sounds we can feel here, है ना? So when you say there is no voice, it's voiceless. But when it is voiced, then you will have what? The sound of letter Z. Okay. Like for example, rag. When you say rag, you can feel the vibration. So it's voiced rag. So when you change it to plural, then you add s, which becomes z. So it becomes rags. Books and rags. Can you feel difference? Type yes if you can. Books and rags. So when it is voiced, it gives z sound, but when it is not voiced, then it gives sound. Okay. Not just for singular plural. Whenever you add s, you also add s for verbs. Like he writes. Okay. So writes s. The sound is s. But for example, if you say, can you give any example where you have z sound with any verb? Think of the words. Write in the chat box. Yes. Okay. Whenever you have the voiced sound and then you add s, then it will be z sound. Okay. Okay. I'm giving you 2 minutes. You have to write the soft C and soft G examples in the chat box. Okay. Soft C and soft G. Now, so that is clear. Whenever you will have a magic E word, there you will have to use CE. Okay. That means when you have a long vowel sound, like for example, if you are taking dictation and you say the word space, so the child will write S P. Now space. So you have to tell the child that it is a long sound. If it is a long sound, that means there is a magic E rule which has changed A to A. That means if magic E will come, so S cannot come in space. So what will come? CE will come. Okay. So when you have the long sound and then you have sh, that will come from CE, right? But if you have a consonant or a vowel digraph, then it will be S. Okay. Like in the word false, there is no long sound. So we have to use S. Okay. In the word rinse, there is short sound. There is a consonant sound. It's not a long. So when you don't have a long sound, then you don't use CE, but you use SE. Okay. Now we call W as crazy. Why do we call W as crazy? Because it does a lot of crazy things. What crazy things? So we will see the first thing, the crazy thing which W does is with A, it becomes war. The sound comes of war, right? Like whenever you have WA, it is war sound. Like in wars, can you write more examples? WA giving war sound. Can you write in the chat box? WA words. Water, warm, yes. So W becomes crazy. Okay.
मैम
Yes.
मतलब जब ई के से पहले एस हो तो वहाँ मैजिक रूल काम नहीं, मैजिक ई रूल काम नहीं करता है क्या?
नहीं, एस के साथ नहीं करता है.
ओके.
सी के साथ करेगा ना मैजिक ई.
अच्छा हाँ. नहीं, जैसे लास्ट में ई है रिंस में और फॉल्स में, तो अपन उसको ए या आई.
कॉन्सोनेंट है ना, एल
हाँ हाँ.
एन कॉन्सोनेंट है, इसलिए एस ई है. ओके. मैजिक
Okay.
की तो डायरेक्ट वर्क करेगा, सीवीसी होना चाहिए ना मैजिक की के लिए, वावल सॉरी सीवीसी नहीं वीसी होना चाहिए ना, वावल के बाद एक कॉन्सोनेंट और फिर ई होना चाहिए। मैजिक ई कब काम करता है? व्हेन यू हैव अ वावल, है ना, जब आपके पास एक वावल हो और उसके बाद में एक कॉन्सोनेंट हो और उसके बाद ई हो, है ना, देन इट वर्क्स। ओके,
Okay, ma'am.
जैसे W के साथ ए ओ बन जाता है, वैसे ही क्व के साथ में भी ए लगाने से वो क्या बन जाएगा? ओ, मोस्टली, नॉट ऑलवेज बट मोस्टली। Like in the words squat, okay, quad, quarter, right? Now, why in the word quack it is not O sound? Because we know that C and K both comes for short sound. So it is a short sound, quack. Okay. Yes, quantity, very good. Okay. Now there are so many questions that when to use double O, which little oo or long oo. We generally have this in our mind that how the child will know that is it little oo or long oo sound. So little oo sound is mostly found when you have words with ending with K and ending with D, like look, took. But there are few exceptions, and those exceptions are food, mood. These are exceptions. Brood, these are exceptions, and spook. Okay, these are exceptions. But mostly you will have little oo sound for K and D, like in the word book, crook, cook, hook, look. Yes. Can you give examples? Write examples in the chat box. Yes. So examples are shoe. That's an exception. Hook, shoe. Shook is an exception. Took, look, hook. Yes. What about the long oo sound? So long oo sound will come from any other letter except for D and K, like in cool, boom, boost, boot, rude, choose, cool. Okay. Moon, moose, noon, lose. Okay, pool. But these are the exceptions. Okay. So you have the short sound with L and sorry K and D, but there are few exceptions. So these are the few exceptions. Okay, there are few exceptions. So little oo will be with K and D, and with any other letter it will be long oo sound. Okay. Also, always remember if it is the last sound. Okay. When you have double O at the end, if you have double O at the end of any spelling, it will always be long. Okay. Can you give examples of the word where you have double O at the end? They will never be short. They'll always be long. Can you give example? They'll always be long oo and not little oo. Igloo, zoo. Shampoo, very good. Okay. So mostly you'll have. Now double O can give many other sounds that we have already done in the alternatives chart, alphabetical chart. So double O can also make the sound of like in the word blood, flood. It can also give long, or sound as in door, floor, right? Yes, cuckoo is also an example. Now, talking about bossy R, we all have done that AR. So what you will find that when you have AR at the end of a word, like in the car, so you hear a silent R there, a controlled R. You when you say car, when you say star, so most
बात खत्म कम
please mute yourself. Mostly you will find a slight r coming car, but if it is in the middle, okay, like card, then you don't hear at all. No? So when R is at the end, you hear slight r coming, but when it is in the middle, you hardly hear r. You don't say card, it's card. So you don't hear r sound if it is in between of the word. Hum, farm, part, start, card, dart, march, chart, smart, star, march, all these words. Okay. Now, again, crazy W. What it will do? Crazy W comes with AR. Then it becomes what? Or sound. War, ward, what, warmth. So again, crazy, we call W as crazy because it does crazy things. So when it comes with W and A, it is or sound. Okay. Now we have already done that if AR, it's R sound. But if you have any word where AR is again having one more R, then we have to split. And that is why it becomes carry and not carry. Okay, whenever you have double R, okay, then there will be no bossy R effect. So bossy R effect will go away when you have a double R. So one R is bossy, but two R's are not bossy. Ranjana, anything you want to say? You just join your hand. So are you trying to say something? Okay. Now, as we are talking about crazy W again and again, so tell me what crazy W does with O. What crazy W does with O? Which sound it makes? Write the word in the chat box. So when I say word, that is also W-O. So actually W is giving a sound, na? Like in the word, world, world. work, worker, worm. Yes. Okay, now somebody today was asking in the group also about ER, AR. So ER comes in, as I have told you earlier also, ER is the most common sound or letter uh, spelling for sound. So mostly you will have ER for all the occupations. Lawyer, teacher, barber, carpenter, eater, jumper, maker, driver. You always have ER. Also, if there is C, if any word ending with C or ending with G will also have E only, ER. Like in the word passenger. So why it is not IR? It is ER. Okay. So with a soft C or soft G, it will be ER. Okay. Also, if you know that already a word has E there, so it will be ER only. Bake becomes baker. Write becomes writer because already E is there. So ER. Okay. Now all the comparative adjectives have ER, that we know. Okay. So most of the words have ER. There are many words with ER. So comparatively, IR and UR are very less. Even for the words like chopper, producer, avenger, launcher, publisher, furniture, discoverer, photographer, all these have ER. Print, organizer. Only few exceptions are there. Those exceptions are counselor, uh, conqueror, and uh, doctor. Yes. Now, OR. Which sound will it make? OR? Again, AR. So this is mostly with root words. It is with root word. Actor. So it is a root word. Now, what is the difference when I say it is a root word? That means it is not added. It is the root word. For you know, it's not like singer is you have added ER. Okay. But actor is a root word. Okay. So all these words, visitor, supervisor, editor, collector, they have OR. Now we have done bossy R rule. We are doing bossy R only. So when I say the word very, how are you going to syllabicate this word? Tell me. How would you divide this word very? How would you syllabicate spirit? Okay. Can you all Google the pronunciation of VERY and tell me? Because you have to check on Google the pronunciation of this word and tell me in the chat box. Yes. Can you Google pronunciation of very, syllabication of the word very? How will you divide it into syllable? Very. Yes. So E is a long E sound. So you have to divide it with here because E is the short sound. Okay. Where E. Spirit. Can you find out spirit? How will you syllabicate spirit? Write in the chat box the word spirit. No. Check it again on Google. Spirit pronunciation, spirit syllables. Yes, everyone find it out and write in the chat box. Now, can you tell me why we are dividing it after I? Why we are dividing it here? Because we know that this is I is a short sound. It has to be enclosed and we cannot split spur also because that's a consonant blend. So sp and then rit. Okay. So not every time you will have the bossy R effect. This why we are discussing this because when you do the when you take the word spirit and we know that IER is a bossy R alternative of sound. So it should be sound, but it is not spirit and it is spirit. Okay. So why? Because actually the syllable is being divided here. So actually it is not IR because are being splitted. Okay, when they are being splitted, then the bossy R effect goes. Okay. Even if you find out the pronunciation of this word, why we are not having the bossy R here, because when you find out the pronunciation, you will find that the pronunciation says this. And because it's R is so much stressed that there are double R, and that's the reason why you will not find ER, because we have already learned that when you have two R's, then the bossy R effect goes. Okay. Bossy R effect goes. When you have, so when you say very, so there is too much of stress on R sound. And when you check the pronunciation, you will find that VE double R and double E. So that's why it's very and not worry. It's not R sound because we you have two R. So if there is only one R, it is bossy R, and when you have two R, then the bossy R effect goes away, right? Okay. So this was about bossy R. Now tell me why in the word noticeable. So what is actually what we have done? Notice plus able, right? So when you have notice plus able, that becomes noticeable. Why we are not dropping E? Generally we drop E, right? We have learned that when you have E at the end, we drop E. But why this E is not being dropped? Here, can someone write in the chat box why this E is not dropped? Because if you remove this E, then the soft C effect will go away and the word will become naughty cable. But it's not K sound, it's soft C sound. That is why we cannot remove E. Okay, if you don't have E and you drop this E and add able, then how it will be soft C? It won't be able to give the soft C with CA. So that is why we will have to take E there so that it remains notice and is soft C rule, right? So that's why in the word noticeable, traceable, serviceable, E will not be dropped. Okay. We do drop E for the words like if I have service and then I have to add ing. If you have to add ing, then you will drop because EIY has magic soft C effect. So here we can remove this E because I is also soft C. I will also give the soft C pronunciation. CI is also the sound of letter S. But when you have a suffix starting with AOU, then you will have to keep E for the soft C sound. Okay. Now, can anybody tell me why it is panic? We have done that panic. So it is only C because it is two syllable word. We have learned that when you have two syllable word ending with K sound, then we have to use C. Now, who will tell me why when I add ing, it takes K also? Why is it taking K? Can someone type in the chat box? Why is it so? Because C only comes at the end. And when you have a short sound, it will be C and K both. So panic, because there are two sounds, two vowel sounds, so C is coming. But when you have more than two vowel sounds and the sound is not coming at the end but in the center, in the middle, then we have already learned the truck rule which says a, e, o will take CK both. So panic, it is E sound. It is taking this E sound. So we have to use C and K both because it is coming in between and not at the end. like traffic, trafficking, picnic, picnicking. Okay. Yes. Now, what happens? We are just playing with the words. We are just exploring these words, what is hidden there, which we have not seen earlier. So, in the word accept, accident, in the word accurate, why we are having two sounds of letter C. One sound is and one sound is Y. हमने ये पढ़ा था कि जब भी डबल लेटर आए तो एक ही साउंड आती है. जैसे अगर लिटिल है तो मैं दो टी के लिए दो बार नहीं बोलूंगी. आई विल नॉट से ट्वाइस. But why in the word access, accept, accident, we have two sounds from two same letters. When two same letters are coming and then two, we are giving two sounds. Why? Because one C is hard and one C is soft. If you notice in these words, you will find that first C is what? Hard. And the second C is what? Soft. Okay. So that is why, because the second C becomes soft, we have to give two sounds for C and C. One is and one is S. Okay. Now, when you have C, I, we have done this earlier, that C and I makes it sh sound, as in gracious, magician. Okay, this we have done. Okay. And we have also done SC words. So in SC, what will happen? Which letter will go silent when you have SC followed by EIY? When you have SC followed by EIY, which letter goes silent? Yes, C. But when there is a word like spore, the word is spore. Now here S and C both are speaking because C is not soft, here it is hard. So it depends that after SC, which letter you have. After SE, SC, if you have EIY, then it will be silent. But if you have SC followed by A, O and U, then it will not be silent. Scalp, scooter, scoop. So it's not silent. S is giving S and C is giving K. Okay. Yes, Varsha. Okay. Now, why in the word charging? Okay. Why in the word charging? So the word is charge and then you add ing. So why we are dropping this E? We are dropping this E because I is also having the soft G rule. So we can drop E. Okay. Any doubts till here? Anyone has any doubt? Please write out if you have any doubt. Okay. Want me to repeat? I'm just saying that you have to drop this E because you have I. You have to drop this because I will come with G and then also it will give J sound. So we can drop this E, okay? We can drop this E, okay? Clear now? If it is clear, then write yes. Okay. Now, when to use OU and when to use OW? Mostly, OU comes in the middle of a word. Can you write examples? OU comes mostly in the middle of the words. Can you give examples? Cloud, proud. So, OU sound is coming in middle. Whereas when you have OU sound at the starting, it is OW, like in the word owl, like in the word um, okay. If you have OU sound before the letter L, N, or D, then also it will be OW. Okay. So either in the starting of the word, if you have OU sound like in owl, or if you have OU sound followed by L and D, okay, then it is OW. Can you give examples of OW words? So out is an exception. Yes. So either when you have OW, OU sound coming at the end or just before N, L or D. Now we have done only L, N or D, but here we will learn that also for any word ending with EL, any word ending with ED or any word ending with ER will also take OW. Okay. So like in the word shower, power, bowl, towel, brown, clown, growl. Okay. So this was about owl. Now, Y gives ear sound as a consonant in the beginning. Y in the beginning gives a consonant sound like yes. Okay. Y in two syllable words give E, long E sound like in happy. In one syllable, it gives I sound like in cry. In the middle, it gives E sound like in cyst, pyramid, myth. Okay. So middle of the word also it will give E sound. Right. When you have A sound like in day, when you have Oi sound like in boy, so you have Y. So these were some extra rules. With this, we have done all the rules, advanced, basic, everything. If you have any doubt, you can ask me.